What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the best ways and the best tips I can tell you guys to unlock Apocalypse in 2024. I had a comment on one of my YouTube videos asking me to make a video on this, as you can see right here. So I am going to make this video, and we're going to give you guys the best tips you can possibly have to unlock APOC and streamline your experience to get an absolutely amazing character. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Before we talk about unlocking Apocalypse, we have to decide if Apocalypse is still worth it to actually unlock. And honestly, yes, no doubt in my mind, he's still one of the best characters in the game. I think honestly only behind Super Skrull, because he's a pretty good counter to Black Knight as well. Honestly, I see no reason not to get him, and I really don't see any reason not to get him ever. You can look at his kit here. Obviously, these are the Awaken abilities, so it's better once you get the big boy APOC compared to the smaller APOC. But his kit is absolutely nuts. He does a bunch of damage. He gets Drain on his basic. His special puts out 2 vulnerables by itself, so making him a striker. He gets the striker attack on his own vulnerables that he puts out on his special. His ultimate obviously does massive damage, and then it also does that big basic, the 60% health, max health damage, and then his passive gives damage to allies, doesn't let enemies spawn with Safeguard, clear stun if he gets stunned for the first time. I mean, it gives max health to allies. He gives so much. So much to his team. He gives so much to this game in general. And honestly, he's going to be great. And Mephisto is going to make him last even longer as well. Because if you guys do remember, Mephisto, I don't know if he's in the game. He is in the game. Mephisto is going to do on his basic. He's going to do on his empowered basic. He's going to end up taking max health away from the enemies. So attack primary target 50% of the target's max health. And this is going to take the target's max health away. So if they're already at 50% max health, then Apocalypse punches and does his ult and then does his empowered attack, he's absolutely going to keep deleting people because you're going to get that lowered max health from Mephisto. So it's going to be easier for Apocalypse, even when his stats are starting to fall out of the meta, to continue one-shotting people. So Mephisto's going to keep Apocalypse in the meta for way longer. Now let's talk about how to unlock him, the best ways to unlock him, and my tips to make it a little bit faster. So now that we've decided Apocalypse is absolutely worth unlocking, let's talk about the unlock requirements for Apocalypse. So obviously you're going to need to build the Darkhold team, the Unlimited team, the Gamma team, and the Death Seed team. My first tip is going to be go in order of release. And the reason why is because we want to make sure that we're getting all of these first-time rewards that are going to be on these nodes. So on the hard nodes, or on the heroic nodes here, we're going to have some blue ISO 4. So if you're getting through some of the first couple nodes, or all of the nodes, you're going to get some blue ISO 4 and some blue ISO 5, which will then help you get to the Unlimited section a little bit quicker, or get you to unlock the Apocalyptic section in the Darkhold campaigns. There's also going to be blue ISO 5 on these nodes, so doing them in order will get you more and more ISO 5 quicker as well. And then if you look for the end, once you get all the way to the end here, there's going to be Apocalyptic difficulties here. So you're going to need to go in order, because you can see here, Darkhold's first, then Unlimited, then Gamma. So let's say if you just have Darkhold, all ISO 5 Gear 17, and you've already done all of the other campaign nodes, you've already done all the other ones before you get to the actual Apocalypse ones, you could do the Darkhold ones, and this will give you like 1.5 million blue ISO 5, I think. And then node 2, if you have Unlimited done, it'll get you more blue ISO 5 to maybe get another Gamma character done. And then you can maybe get a Death Seed character done. And then once you're done with all of these, then you have to use the Kestrel, the Deathpool, and the Spider Weaver. So you can also add in those and get more ISO 5 by going in order instead of having Kestrel, Deathpool, and Spider Weaver first before you even have Darkhold, because you have to go in order. So it's Darkhold, Unlimited, Gamma, and Death Seed. So going in order is going to be the absolute most essential. Now let's get into the next big tip that I can give you guys. The next big tip I can give you guys is going to be building the better characters first. And there's a lot of reasons why. Obviously, you want the better characters bigger first because they're going to be more useful. But also, there's going to be kind of a caveat once we talk about Gamma, because the addition of Leader, you're able to use Leader to unlock Apocalypse. So you can drop a bad character on Gamma and not build them instead. So for Darkhold, I would say the build order is going to be Morgan Le Fay, Strange Heartless, Agatha, then Wong, and then Scarlet Witch is a way last place pick. Obviously, Morgan Le Fay is the Horseman character. Strange is going to be a massive damage dealer. Wong, you can make a case to build him third because he's the tank of the team. And then Agatha, obviously, is the controller and the healer of the team. So she's awesome, but absolutely Morgan Le Fay first. Then I would say it's kind of a toss-up between the other three, and then Scarlet Witch is absolutely last. Next up is going to be the Unlimited team, and this one is going to be a lot easier to make your decisions. Gambit's actually going to be number one, which is ironic because he's not even the Horseman on the team, but Gambit's going to be your number one first build for sure because he's incredible in Cosmic Crucible. He's also on the newest Extreme X-Men Mutant Raid team as well. Next up, you're actually going to build Rogue, the Horseman. I know, second, but Rogue is not that great, honestly. But when she gets big, she is a massive tank, and she's always going to be a nuisance with that reflexive taunt. And in Cosmic Crucible, she's still finding some great uses. Then next, you're probably going to build Dazzler. Dazzler's really good because on her passive, every time a negative effect is applied to an ally, fill this character speed bar by 10%, and then her ult flips all those negative effects, puts some ability block, puts slows out there. So she's a really good character. Next up, you'll probably do Sunfire because he's the other damage dealer on the team, and then Fantomex. Honestly, it doesn't really matter once you get to Rogue and Dazzler, Sunfire and Fantomex. It doesn't matter who you build next, but absolutely Gambit, then Rogue, then Dazzler, then Sunfire or Fantomex. Next up is the Gamma team, and as you can see here, there's 6 members. Obviously, Leader is going to be the newest member. The original 5 Gamma members are good. There are some exceptions. You definitely want to drop some of them. So the big question is going to be here, do I build Leader instead of one of these characters that are on the Gamma team? And the short answer is no, because the full Gamma team is needed to be really good. You could sub out A-Bomb for Apocalypse or She-Hulk for Apocalypse in some cases, but mostly you're going to be trading out Abomination. The problem is Leader doesn't really slot in anywhere to be good on this team, like actually as good as the normal Gamma team is the issue. But if you do want to streamline your process and make it a little bit quicker, you can use Leader just as a more current character, and then have maybe She-Hulk or Abomination, whoever you decide to drop, a little bit lower than the rest of the team, so you don't have to take them to Gear 17, Blue ISO 5, all this stuff, but still make them usable at your level in War. But I would say the build order would absolutely be Red Hulk first. He's an absolute unit. He's absolutely incredible. Next up is going to be Hulk, because he's going to be the tank of the team, and he's going to be giving safeguard and immunity to Red Hulk on spawn, so having him on that team is absolutely essential. Next up is going to be Brawn, because he's going to be the healer of the team. He also does a nasty cleanse and 35% health damage on his health steal on his ultimate. And then the next is probably going to be, is obviously between A-Bomb and She-Hulk. My recommendation here, if you're trying to go for speed and you're low on the bio uniques, so the bio pieces you need to get to Gear 17, I would drop She-Hulk for Leader, because She-Hulk costs 5 unique pieces instead of Leader only costing 3. So that's going to cut it down a little bit. The problem with that is then you're keeping Red Hulk, Hulk, and Abomination, and all of them take gamma radiation. So if you're lower on gamma radiation and higher on the bio uniques, then keep She-Hulk. But if you're higher on the bio uniques and lower on the lower on the bio uniques and higher on the augmented gamma radiation, then keep Red Hulk, Hulk, and Abomination. And Leader is also gamma radiation, which is a problem because then you've got 4 characters taking it, and that's a massive bottleneck. And then She-Hulk takes Gravitonium instead. So it's probably your best bet to drop Abomination, honestly, because this is the one that we're going to be dropping in most war fights. So I would say drop Abomination, build Leader instead, so the gamma radiation is the same amount. And then the uniques are also the same amount because Abomination does take 3 uniques, if I'm not mistaken. So 1, 2, and yes, he does take 3. So he's still going to take 66 pieces. So for this, it's going to be Red Hulk, Hulk, then build Leader once he's unlocked, then Brawn, then She-Hulk last because She-Hulk's going to be the worst character on the team. And finally, we've got Death Seed. So Death Seed is going to be an older mutant raid team now. Obviously, we have a new, better option here. Mine's a little bit bigger than the requirements for APOC because they were really useful back in the day in Cosmic Crucible and obviously in raids and such like that. But here, the build order is going to be pretty simple. Obviously, the Horseman goes first. Archangel will absolutely be first. I would say probably Nemesis next, because he's the healer of the team. And then this might be controversial, but I'd say Dark Beast next because he's going to be attacking on every single attack that your teammates do, because he has the, again, 25% assist chance per Death Seed ally here. And obviously he's going to have 4 of them, so he's going to always be assisting if you're using the full Death Seed team. Then I would say Magneto. The thing about Magneto is he is 5 unique pieces, so he's super, super expensive. That's going to be kind of the holdup for you to build him quicker. And then Psylocke is absolutely the worst one on the team. You'll see I didn't even take her to level 95. So she's going to be the last one to build. So to recap, Archangel, Nemesis, Dark Beast, then Magneto, then Psylocke is way down at the bottom. But that's going to be it for Death Seed. I wanted to come back to Leader for a minute because this is something new that we haven't seen before. Leader was added to the game, obviously, after the Apocalypse Saga started for everybody else who did it right off rip. But now he's got the Gamma tag, so he's adding a 6th option to that Gamma team, like we covered when we talked about the Gamma. So the reason why I'm giving you a tier list on who to build on which teams, obviously the worst are going to be the Scarlet Witches, the Phantom X's, the Psylocks, and then probably the Abominations, 1 for each team, is because we might be getting more characters to widen the requirements for Apocalypse, which would be absolutely insane and amazing because it would avoid you guys from building lackluster characters like Scarlet Witch, from having to build them because they're terrible, honestly. And any 5th was slotting better than Scarlet Witch, even on release. We used Dormammu, we used APOC, we used a lot of different people instead of Scarlet Witch. So Leader is setting the precedence for possibly bringing in more characters that could have the Darkhold tag, have the Death Seed tag, or have the Unlimited tag, which would be awesome for you guys because you can build those newer characters with confidence, knowing they're going to have longevity, instead of building 23 really old tunes and then just only getting 1 good tune out of it. So that's why I have the build order there. So make sure you're following that because you could have a Darkhold character come out next month and then you don't have to worry about Scarlet Witch anymore, which would absolutely be awesome for you. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Massive shout out to KG Monster. He had the video idea for this and asked for this, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I know this does not pertain to a lot of the late game players that my content usually pertains to. So if you guys like this and some early game players are finding this video and finding it helpful, let me know and I'll be happy to make more early game content. You guys just have to let me know what you want to see because I haven't been in the early game for so long, and I can give you guys some tips and tricks to get through the early game a little bit quicker, unlock Apocalypse faster, or maybe get through some earlier Dark Dimensions a little bit quicker with my picks. So if you like this video, drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.